All right, good evening. Welcome to Carlisle Baptist Church. Let's all stand together across the lands. You're the Word of God the Father from before the world began. Across the lands. You're the Word of God the Father from before the world began. Every star and every planet has been fashioned by your hands. All creation holds together by the power of your voice. Let the skies declare your glory. Let the land and seas rejoice. You're the author of creation. You're the Lord of every man. And your cry of love rings out across the lands. Yet you left the gaze of angels, came to seek and save the lost, and exchanged the joy of heaven for the anguish of a cross. With a prayer you fed the hungry, with a word you stilled the sea. Yet how silently you suffered, that the guilty may go free. You're the author of creation. You're the Lord of every man. And your cry of love rings out across the lands. With a shout, you rose victorious, wresting victory from the grave, and ascended into heaven, leading captives in your wake. Now you stand before the Father, interceding for your own. From each tribe and tongue and nation, you are leading sinners home. You're the author of creation. You're the Lord of every man. And your cry of love rings out across the land.
Amen. Thank you. Be seated as we are going to go to the Lord in prayer in just a moment. But before that, we're doing things a little differently. That's kind of a theme here recently, and one of the things we've been doing is getting reports from our brothers and sisters on Maui. And this is a letter from my son, Caleb, who is assistant pastor at Grace Baptist Church in Lahaina. And of course, he went to our school here and came through church, was on staff here. And so he wanted to write and say thank you, and also some insights and what's going on, what's happening there. So he writes, Aloha, Carlisle Baptist Church, Ohana. On behalf of Grace Baptist Church, Lahaina, we want to thank all of you for the many ways you've supported us during this time. It's been 4 weeks now since the fire. In some ways, it feels like it's been a year. In other ways, it feels like it's only been a few days. Time seems to move so quickly when you're busy working on getting your life back together, yet time moves so slow when you start thinking about the day of the fire and the many years of recovery we have ahead of us. This has been, and probably will be, the toughest thing many of us will have to go through. The wide array of emotions that we all go through every day is overwhelming and exhausting. To start out, you have feelings of fear, shock, sadness, and after a few days, you feel blessed and thankful for getting out alive, for the deliverance and the Lord's provision. Then you have feelings of immense paranoia every time the wind kicks up, or every time you see or smell dust or smoke in the air. Nightmares of escaping dangerous things night after night. Then you have feelings of the unknown, of disbelief, of confusion, feelings of homesickness like never before, feelings of stress and overwhelmed for all the work that's needed to get done yesterday, feelings of guilt for not doing more, and the list goes on and on. Many of us, as you know, barely got out with our lives. And that's something you've never prepared to cope with. But on behalf of our church, we want you to know that there is another blanket feeling, a feeling that covers all of the feelings that we are going through, and that is that we have a sovereign God who loves us, who has continually provided for us in ways we've never seen before, a God who has blessed us in unimaginable ways, a God who has comforted us when we thought we'd never be comfortable again. On Sunday, I preached on how God is the God of all comfort, and although I've lost everything, I have been comforted. And the reality for all Christians is this: the world wants us to believe that if we lose all our possessions, then we've lost everything. But if you have Christ, the reality is you haven't lost anything at all, because He is our everything. We are complete in Him. Every earthly things do not truly satisfy. Only Christ satisfies. And we have preached that for years, but now we are truly